2-1 going into the next game here for the mid-season brawl as we continue things for Heroes of the Storm Global Championship. One of these teams is about to be crowned the world champion here from live from Jönköping, Sweden, as we do get into the next game. We have Gilly, Dread, and Fan waiting to go into our next map, but overall, very much so, the cards are in the hands of Team Dignitas, depending on how they want to play it going into the next map.
It is important to note, though, the maps that Dignitas did win on are both very good maps for them. It was crucial that those go into their favor, because what that could mean not only with the advantage by going through the winner's bracket, but then if they had lost those maps, Fnatic may have their momentum in their favor now. Yeah,
especially towers. And even Curse 2, being able to get through that strategy of Fnatic's has got to be feeling really good for Team Dignitas. But I'm wondering now what Dignitas will pick for Game 3.
I'm going with Tomb.
I think it will be 2, but Tomb versus both L5 and Fnatic. Dignitas has been, they've gotten behind in turn-ins, and yes, Dignitas is a team that can make the miracle comebacks, but they have not been given those chances by either team.
I think the thing that we need to think about as well is that Fnatic has alluded to the idea of having different strategies tucked away in their pocket. It might start soon being time to use some of those, considering that if they lose one more map, they're on tournament life there.
But that can work again both ways.
Yes,
because this next game, you don't see anything. Dignitas goes, that's it. You don't have it. Like, you were bluffing the entire tournament. You don't have anything. One Samuro maybe in the group stage against a team that you were projected to win against, right? And so it's just, it's all whether or not that was just words or if Fnatic actually has the action.
Fan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I like this Inferno pick by Dig. I was going to say, just like Gilly said, both times that they played Tomb in the past 2 days against Fnatic and I believe MVP, they got destroyed in draft, and then they just straight up lost the game, like 2-3 level deficits every time. So I would actually like to see them never pick Tomb if that's the case.
Same. I love that they picked Shrines. I think it's a toss-up. Again, a good battleground for both of them. So I'm excited for this draft.
It's all about that trophy right there. For me, it's a Master Skin trophy, because what someone's done is they've taken the trophy and then they've added spikes to it. So let's go into the draft as we get into the next game here for the grand finals. Fnatic goes up against Team Dignitas.
So this is the first time we've had a repeat battleground from the last time these two teams faced off. And it was Dignitas who won, but again, Fnatic did control the early and the mid game, but Dignitas came in with the punishment later on.
Fnatic already going towards the Uther ban. Uther has been huge impact for Bakery. I mean, he's just, the last game he had a lot of things to be able to stop the momentum of the Team Fight 4 Fnatic, and I'm not surprised to see that taken away.
Yeah, I wonder if Dignitas is going to go with the Genji ban here again, or if they're going to swap directions to something else. Genji does seem to be something that Fnatic is extremely comfortable with, even more so than most of the other top teams. Going with the Anubrak this time.
I like that ban.
How high does Greymane fall in this draft between these two teams? Considering the map, it's one of his best maps just purely based on the ability to threaten around the map objective. Does it fall to midway? Last time we played up onto this map, it was even banned out, first ban by Team Dignitas, so we didn't even get to see where they felt the value was. But Fnatic says it's going to be first pick.
Yeah, I like that pick there. I mean, Anubrak and Uther are two of the only other picks, I think, that are probably better on this map. You could make an argument for Dahaka, but so far Dahaka hasn't seemed to be making the biggest impact in this series.
It's interesting. He, from the beginning of the tournament until midway through, he seemed to be one of the most impactful heroes in the tournament. And then as we've gone up higher and higher, he's seemed to be a lackluster, especially compared to the Illidan.
Malfurion and what? Malf Stitches? Malf Genji?
Oh, Stitches is safer here because they can go into the KT later on if they want around the map objective.
True.
But I don't want the Stitches this high.
Yeah, I like the Malf Genji better. You just showed a win on the Murd, and maybe it's time to let go of the early rotate on the Stitches here and just focus on getting the priority picks.
They're thinking about it.
They might not even go with Malf at all.
I mean, Dig has been, if they didn't, I would be very surprised. They don't, all right?
Stitches to Haka.
Wow. just because the Dignitas has been historically, I mean, one of the biggest teams to focus on not getting support choked. What I mean by support choke is just the focus on Malf, Uther are definitely the highest contested. If you ban one, they make sure before the second ban phase they get one of the others.
The thing is, though, is that I think they've proven as well during this tournament that even if they do get support choked, Karazim's still a great backup.
Oh, completely. I don't think they have to by any means. It's just more of, again, showing that Dignitas is altering what their priority has been in the past just because they know Fnatic. They think that the Dahaka pick is going to translate far better into the fights.
Yeah, it's something like Malf and Uther are tied at like 10 games each, and then Karazim's at 3, right? They just have so much priority on getting one of those two that it is surprising to see them be willing to give it up here, but obviously in having some Karazim games, they have given it up before and it's worked out for them. I think it's very likely that Fnatic gets Malfurion here in this rotation.
There it is. And the Genji.
So Team Dignitas going with a bit of a more unconventional rotate. Fnatic taking the more conventional route and just taking those two away.
Does Dignitas focus on any Abathur? Are they afraid of it whatsoever? Or are they going to try and pick it up themselves? I guess it doesn't work that well into having a double tank. It's just Dignitas is one of the few teams that likes Dahaka and Abathur, like the pressure. I guess European teams are some of the fewer ones that prioritize those two together if they can get them.
Yeah, they're banning out Wubby here. That's what I was thinking here. Wubby is running out of heroes. The Dahaka is one of his favorites. He played Stitches the other game. His next two options most likely on this map are Arthas and Leoric.
There it is, the KT Stitches I was referring to earlier because the map, Kel'Thas, is good on other maps. It's just he is very effective on this one, not because of a 1-4 like he is traditionally, but for those skeletal defenders.
Worst case scenario, Dignitas already does have the tongue as a follow-up for Stitch's hook, but they want something more than that. Dahaka probably wants to be split soaking while the Stitches looks for picks, so the Kel'Thas ban is really strong here. It forces Dignitas to look harder for a setup. Uther out, Malf out. There's no super easy setup anymore. Arthas, it was another one they used, but Dahaka is already picked and played by Xaylia, so what setup are they gonna get here?
I honestly, with the Grey Mane removed, Kel'Thas has been focused on. Li Ming is always an option, but she's not necessarily... Okay, Tychus makes a lot of sense because the burst follow-up onto Stitches, having the Odin opportunity if you need to be able to siege up with the Punisher and the Karazim. So I love that Dig is being patient with their last pick, not showing. They can flex it out.
Yep, and Tychus is also a pretty good pick into the Arthas, which further discourages that route for Wubby. What is Wubby gonna play here? That's what I'm really curious. Does he play the Illidan? Will he go with something else here? Could even go Zeratul Diablo. We've seen that done before as well.
Man.
Yeah, I would love Diablo from Breeze. It's Infernal Shrines. He, if not getting a new Barak, it tends more toward either Varian or Tyrael.
The solo tank is a bit of a risky proposition here, though, because they have Tychus. They could go into seven-sided. A single front line is going to get shredded hard here.
ETC Sonya.
Okay.
Ooh,
Please.
that's...
Dignitas, this last pick, I wanted snap picked.
What is it?
Why, what do you want?
I wanted to just see confidence. After, because it felt like that last rotation for Fnatic was definitely on the back foot to where it was like, we've won the draft, we already know what this last pick is going to be. And I don't feel like the ETC nor the Sonya was that big of an influence. So I wanted to see Dignitas just go, we've got this draft, because it feels like they have really, again, made Fnatic second guess themselves.
I'm trying to think what it can be. It's a snitch pick.
I'm not taking away the Abathur idea because Fnatic all in onto team fighting. They have very little macro play. And again, the double macro can just essentially ignore the objective.
Part of me was thinking Medivh, but it technically has been seen in Europe with the Stitches and a Karazim off the back, but it's a wild card.
Couldn't Snitch also play Tychus though?
Yeah, it could go to Mene.
It could, yeah, it could go to Mene. You're right.
I want to follow up on the hook. That's what I want, but I don't know if there's many left. Like, what else is there?
Falstad.
Falstad.
At least his focus on the macro.
Okay,
That was
yeah.
the most important thing for me on that last pick. It didn't have to be the Abathur, but that was the one that stood out. I just wanted something that didn't have to overcommit to the shrines and watch this absurdly strong early game and just team fighting composition of Fnatic.
Yeah.
And you have to go to every altar or shrine, have to match into your opponent. I wanted to see that, so I like that pick from Dig.
So the one wild card that really comes out of that for me is the ETC.
Yeah.
We did see Fnatic try and use it against MVP Black in the group stages. Needless to say, that one wasn't very good. Regardless of what they wanted to do, what the direction they wanted in that series. Here, though, going into this game, what do we think about it?
There's already a lot to be able to stop a mosh pit.
Yep.
And it's very likely to still be a mosh pit. I don't really see them going stage dive on this particular battleground, although there are a couple of globals on the other side, so maybe. But it still seems like Breeze goes into mosh pit a lot more than he picks stage dive.
Yeah, I really like what Dignitas has gotten. Again,
Yeah.
if that last pick said we have to team fight, I immediately dislike Dignitas draft. But the minute they go, okay, we have something else that it's not just the watch the Haka macro all game. You have somebody else to be able to get a double split push, a double play around the shrines, and not just be so singular in their approach to the game. I really think that was important and gave them a huge upper hand.
Fan, your thoughts?
Right now, I'm still focused a little bit on the no follow-up on the hook. They do have double global, but I think Infernal Shrine is a map where global is not 100% necessary. I like Fnatic's composition a little bit better just because of the power picks on that side. I feel like they can roll over Dignitas if Dignitas doesn't get that hook isolation kill.
All right, it's time for predictions. Gilly, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, it's a hard one, but I agree with Fan. I like the Greymane, Malfuri, and Genji that they were able to get. Sonya too, especially since it is likely to get into late game since it's Infernal Shrine, so my vote slightly toward Fnatic here.
Mine's going over to Dig. As long as they play the macro game appropriately, especially for the first two shrines, I think they'll be able to get a big enough lead that they can manipulate the map, and Fnatic will have to make a lot of poor decisions, but they'll be forced into them.
Dignitas for Dread.
I think this is one of Fnatic's last chances to prove themselves. It's not the last game, but if they lose this game, I feel like it's going to be downhill from there. So going with Fnatic, they're going to be fighting with everything they have here.
All right. So 2-1 in favor of Fnatic. Let's see what you guys think at home around the world. Tuned in here to the mid-season brawl. 40-60. It keeps moving for Team Dignitas at home. They've been multiple-time champion here in Europe, one-time Western champion. But if they're able to take this game, they'll be one step closer to becoming world champion. Time now to go over to our commentary team as we have the next game between Fnatic and Team Dignitas.
Fnatic looking to control the Shrine phase. Is it time for them to put their foot down?
They have to. At this point, I completely agree with Fan. They have to go into this game swinging. They have to win it right now and show Dignitas that they're not a pushover team.
We'll see if they can do it here, as Dignitas has been doing pretty darn well in this series so far, gaining the lead. But let's start it up. Over here on the left, in the blue.
To the left side, in blue, we have currently Greymane, played by Quacknick, Smexy on Alfira and Shrimpy on Genji, Breeze on ETC, and Wobby on Sonya. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Fnatic!
The crowd continues to be behind Fnatic, but on the right, in the lead, Dignitas in the red, JPL on Stitches, Zalion on Dahaka, Bakery on Karazim, Snitch on Tychus, Mane on Falstad. This is Dignitas!
Dignitas is just an absolutely amazing team. They win everything in the region, and now here at the Global, they also look absolutely unbeatable. They seem to be the untouchables, and Fnatic has to show right now that they are able to take these wins. And of course, the first thing what has to happen here, they need, in the early game, to be super, super careful about those hooks that we are seeing from JPL.
Watch out for the hooks, and also watch out for the Global. At any point, we could have Dignitas come in for a rotation and go aggressive on a member and try to take them out. The Shrine phase is really great here, though, for Fnatic. That's Sonya, in particular, very strong on the point.
JPL has an absolutely amazing track record on Stitches. And we had a lot of good Stitches players in Europe, but JPL is by far the best. And he has showcased that over and over again. And Fnatic has to somehow break through that.
Will it be the ETC that allows them to break through it? The power slides, knockbacks, he engages.
ETC is a good tool for them, but whoa, at this point we have an isolation against Stitches, but Breeze needs to be careful with his ETC. He's nearly falling, and Bakery finishes him off. What started as an aggressive move by Fnatic turns around against them.
Bakery delivering the final blow there, punching his way to a victory. Wubby in the bottom doing his own here, punching the Dahaka as he gets low as hell. Xaylia trying to keep up with it, and Genji is on the side in for a rotation. Xaylia, though, one of the safest laners I've ever seen, I swear, man. This guy hardly ever gets ganked.
Yeah, Xaylia is amazing on those solo lanes. Another thing with the ETC that you spoke about is, though, that Breeze excels on the hero. He has been one of the best ETCs when the hero was high in the meta, and he's just a fantastic tank player overall. He will see these opportunities where they can isolate a target and take it down. But Dignitas is just playing so well at this point that it's definitely not going to be easy.
I mean, you can't ignore the track record. Hang on, Quagnix falls down here on the bottom. Dignitas is just on fire right now in this series, continuing to get kills. But again, you can't ignore the track record of Breeze. He's been fantastic on that ETC, but it's been a while since we've seen him be effective on it.
Yeah, we have also Fnatic, by the way, with a Sonya up at the top lane, getting value on the Shrine. This is one of the reasons why we saw Quagnix die. They didn't really expect Dignitas to be there, but in tradition, the hook after the tongue. Whoopi, whoa, gets barely out of range.
Just barely getting away there, but he still gets taken out effectively. He's been moved away from the fight for a few seconds until Malfurion can top him off. This is a chance for Dignitas to move in and set up for another hook. Breeze in the bottom left, though, will scout out JPL.
Yeah, this game already, we have seen so many European teams sacrifice in the early game the first Shrine, or at least a few of the minions, in favor of getting pressure onto the lanes, taking structures. And Dignitas has been doing this. They have a lead in experience. It's important for Fnatic to get the Punisher and to be able to close that gap. But right now we have Greymane still at the bot lane. Falstad is flying top. They try to go for the big numbers advantage, and they go for Whoopi.
Whoopi over here. The stun, though, from Breeze will keep Whoopi alive. Schwimpy is wanting to turn around the fight. He goes in, and Xaylia will actually dodge out on the engage.
Xaylia is just a god. Like, he's perfectly times it. Shrimpy, he didn't see the quick burrow there and dives in, does not confirm the kill, and Dignitas still hasn't died. But we have the 30 minions now against 0, so Fnatic will eventually, or should eventually, be able to pick up that Punisher. But as we said before, Dignitas' idea was to risk giving up the first in exchange for good trades on the rest of the lanes.
What I liked about that burrow is it was essentially a game of chicken. As we have Wubby finish off the Punisher and can push in, there was a moment where Schwimpy even faked as if he was going to go in for the movement. He waited a half a beat, and still Xaylia was able to dodge there with the tunnel. Great job by him. Now let's see what Fnatic can do in the top here. Typically, you can grab these turrets at least.
Yeah, they should at least get the turrets and therefore get a slight lead in their experience, but you can already tell that with a bait over the wall, the Punisher falls quickly as Bakery, Snitch, and JPL go for it. We still have the globals on the map, the Falstad, the Haka, and those are the tools that Dignitas needs to use right now. In the early game, they will get a lot of value here, and then later on as well. But of course, once more, Fnatic, they can't die here. They need to be very careful. Breeze has been playing well. He needs to stun. Goes for the Falstad when Quagnix moves away.
Power slide on Mane was important there from Breeze to make sure the Quagnix would not fall. They do get away, and the experience has been delayed a little bit overall for Fnatic, but they are staying near their opponents. Dignitas will move over and start grabbing Mercs.
It's intense. It's definitely intense. You have to deal with the hooks here. There's constant rotations. The globals are always a threat to appear on the map here. And this is definitely a very, very cool game. More so for Dignitas than for Fnatic. They are the ones under pressure, but you can really see how both of the teams are giving their all here. And by the way, we have on Falstad now also the mage build. So we are going full into mage build for Mena, trying to make those plays.
Gathering Storm will be helpful in the late game when it starts chunking opposing members, but in the early game, it's great for that wave clear.
Yeah, exactly. You can get the wave clear here, and that of course allows you to also push the lanes out. You have Dehaka and Falstad to do that. So later on, you can move on to 2 lanes and get the result. Talking results, the hook is fantastic here. And unbelievable.
Wow.
We see Quagnix still surviving. That was the best case scenario in terms of the hook. The problem is they don't have a lockdown without their Haka hitting a tongue.
Just barely getting out there, and Fnatic will take the opportunity, realizing multiple people were on the bottom to start the mercenaries in the top left. And the Shrine will not be there. It was in the top earlier, so they know they can get value out of this mercenary camp. But Dignitas doing the same in the top right. Shrine will be activating here in the middle, which is actually really solid for that Sonya. The globals become a little bit less powerful as Sonya can stay on the top and rotate in quickly.
Now keep in mind, the team fights for Fnatic is not bad at all. Dignitas, they want to manipulate the map, they want to snowball it, and this is what they are looking for. And at this point, Fnatic is still even in experience. This is not too bad for them. They're going to try and look for these objectives. At the same time, Shrimpy puts pressure onto Mena. And keep in mind, Fawcett is a hero that has been picked very, very rarely if there is on the other side a lot of engagement, especially against Genji.
If there's a lot in this tournament, but we're getting close to level 10, and it's going to be important here. The team fight will come online for Fnatic. Watch for Sonya to get that Wrath and charge in and start clearing out this Shrine.
The 10, it's nearly there.
There it is.
Slight lead already for Fnatic. They're going in the mosh pit. It has been chosen. They're going for JPL. Oh, the palm by Bakery.
The palm here, but the Dragon Blade will finish it off. Manny comes in with the Mighty Gust, but Fnatic, they're not done. They're chasing here. Bakery low, and he will pull away with Snitch helping out.
Well done by Fnatic to disengage here. Also the mosh pit on the side of Breeze. Well done for the isolation. Got interrupted eventually, but really got a lot of value to make sure that Dignitas could not save Stitches. Fnatic has some momentum, and they're trying to resolve that in a second kill.
Breeze going in. Zayla getting low. Will he fall this time? He does, as Wubby comes in with the slam, securing a takedown.
They are once again on the Shrine, and this is Punisher number 2. Now, Dignitas has to be careful here, but keep in mind how the rest of the games went so far. Dignitas, you can never, ever count them out, but Mena is in trouble, and they are, Shrimpy with the B, taunting his opponent as Quatnix gets the kill.
Fnatic staggering deaths here for Dignitas. They'll be able to push in the middle, but they were so aware of Mene being down there. They even had a blind curse bullet to go in that bush. It missed, but that's how confident Fnatic is right now. Their composition is just steamrolling, and they're looking to get the first fort of the game.
Fnatic has lost 2 games in a row, and they need to gain some momentum here. And so far, the game is looking good for them. Keep in mind, they are a very, very high fee team. They are always looking for that momentum, and they are extremely loud and emotional in their communications. This is something that drives them, that gives them the adrenaline to just simply make these fights happen. And they are looking for that 13 talent. The snowball that Dignitas was looking for could end up in the hands of Fnatic.
Fnatic doing a common strategy for them nowadays as they continue to grab a fort and push in and rotate to the bottom. Nice dodge there, by the way, on Genji.
Shrimpy going full ninja here.
Being able to get out of there, and he's going to be doing great. Now we will have a slight lull for the moment as Fnatic's going to go ahead and pull on back. Dignitas going to clear out the mercenaries, but you got to continue to keep an eye on this JPL.
Exactly. Hooks, and especially the Gorge with the Mighty Gust, that's what they're looking for. Fnatic was trying to do that on the last map, and it didn't work out against the Illidan composition. But Dignitas, they are trying to run the same strategy now. And Fnatic, yes, they've done good so far, but one hook at the wrong moment in time, just before those shrines spawn, and all of a sudden the momentum will shift.
But Fnatic seems to be much more confident here. We even had Breeze drop a spray paint, willing to be able to rotate around. The hooks are starting to miss here, and Dignitas, are they a team? If they start missing the hooks, do they fall apart? As we are in the grand finals, the pressure is on.
The pressure is on, but I feel that Dignitas is still in a decent spot here. They are going to get the level 13 before we have the next shrine, so the lead in experience that Fnatic has could be quickly negated if Dignitas wins the team fight and the Punisher.
Quagnix looking for a rotation onto Haka. Azalea continuing to play nice and safe in the top right. Will be able to get out. The Shrine will be activating relatively soon. Our teams are already setting up. Look at Mane in the bottom starting to push in.
Fnatic has to be safe right now. They have to be saying, hey guys, listen, if we don't get hooked now, if we don't get isolated with that hook Gorge into Gust, then we can fight the team fight. Play careful and mind the rotations. They are playing around vision, both of the teams are. And currently Dignitas is showing in the mid lane, trying to pressure that in a bit, but Fnatic takes the top cap, and we have a Shrine activating, Trixler.
Top cap has been grabbed, and Fnatic's looking a little bit bold here. They're wanting to catch him on the rotation. Dignitas would love to gank them in here. They come out, the hook pops out, but Quagnix will dodge it by jumping on a minion. We're gonna have Wubby going in, but Stitches is low. JPL is being burned down, the palm coming out. It gets rocked.
The palm gets triggered, but they're not done just yet. The Dragon Blade wants to go in. Shrimpy wants the kills, but he doesn't get them. They're moving out. It could have been the kill against Stitches. It looked good, but then Bakery with the palm, and unfortunately for Fnatic, the trigger, and therefore Stitches survives. But on the other hand, the Gorge combo did not result in a kill.
That is correct, but there are 2 major heroics available for the next phase. There's still Twilight Dream as well as Odin just finishing up. So really, Fnatic's in a great spot if Dignitas did move into the top. They're going to go ahead and pull away and push in the middle instead.
Yeah, look what Dignitas is doing. Exactly, they're pushing the middle instead. They're getting the camps now. They say, hey, we cannot fight this team fight against you. We are willing to give the punish up, but we will get value. We have the 2 globals, and if you rotate down, we go top and put this into a 5 versus 3. But this is a problem for Dignitas. JPL is in so much trouble here.
There's that Twilight Dream, and JPL falls, lagging behind his teammates, and Fnatic will secure a kill. The Punisher also almost finished up 35-0 in the top. Sonya is just working it down.
Whoopi is controlling these shrines the entire time, and Fnatic, they are starting to move in with the Punisher. They do not have the 16 just yet. Keep in mind, they have to be careful here. If they lose the hero, Dignitas will turn this around. Punisher is starting to move in. Fnatic, they are on the move.
Fnatic, for the first time in this series, takes a major lead as they're about to grab at level 16. Breeze seeing Mane on the bottom right side, while Fnatic is pushing simultaneously the top and the bottom. I'm loving this. They're pinching Dignitas.
They got the 16. They have the talent advantage, but isolation can still be a problem. But you are right. They're taking a bit of a risk here. They're making sure that they get a maximum amount of value here. Hook has been used. Whoopi therefore sees an opportunity to go in a bit. He needs to be careful with this. Dehaka comes in. Whoopi, has he overreached? It looks like he did. The tongue is missing. Whoopi! What a god, the jukes are real!
Barely getting out there, and I love how he got behind the minions at the last second, the hook not being available. And look at Quacknix and crew, they're pushing the bottom.
So think about what just happened. They went to the top lane with everything they had, and they didn't get the kill. That's so much time, so many resources committed to this, and oh my god, JPL saved by Mine in the last second. Fnatic, Breeze gorged, and the kill. Oh my god, Dick!
They turn it around. Can Fnatic get away? This always seems to happen to them. One pick, and they start to fall apart. Zelia's on the top left. He's looking for a drag. Can he hits it? He's gonna hit Wimpy here. He's gonna turn around and get the kill. The reflex is there. It's not enough, and Dignitas with 2 takedowns.
Fnatic getting a bit too greedy here. First of all, the Gorge against ETC and the immediate reaction trying to drop Stitches. That was a great choice and they nearly got the kill, but ETC falls. On the way back, they see Dehaka and Shrimpy hesitates for a moment, says, guys, can we get this kill? But that moment of hesitation results in him getting picked off, and now Dignitas is riding the momentum again. They have the 16, they're only a level behind.
That's right, they were behind in those fights, and now they're actually even here in terms of talents. They have that fishing hook available. Twilight Dream comes out, they turn around, they blow up. JPL, Wubby looking forward, chasing, looking to maybe move in. It's gonna go and clear out this wave, but Fnatic, they make sure to stop the staggering the death and get a kill of their own.
This game, it's a 5 versus 3, and Dignitas walks up to the wall, and Fnatic says, are you crazy? You are not gonna walk up to our wall with the towers. You are dead, son. They jump in, they hit their ults, they drop the target. Dignitas overreaching here a little bit. The crowd goes crazy as we are having Fnatic with a 1-level lead.
Fnatic continues to control the temple, working on the mercenary camps. Look at the battleground right now. They have yet to lose any fort on the map. They're really starting to take control back here, and the next shrine coming soon. If they can handle that shrine phase, they're in a prime position to move forward and start working towards a victory.
At this point, we have 5 kills versus 4. We see Fnatic roaming again. They're looking for kills. They don't show. They play with a vision. They want to be the team that engages here. Sonya at the top left is at the same time taking the camps. If, for example, Falstad moves down, Falstad, bottom right, is he going to go the long way? He takes the safe route here. If Mena would have walked the direct way, this would have been a disaster for Dignitas. So important that he makes the right choice here.
So a situation that looked great for Fnatic. They actually had the Merc camp in the top left. Dehaka went in and took it away because Sonya was unaware, as everyone was. Now Fnatic, they go in and they open the keep wall. They're going to be in a spot here to start moving in for a keep potentially, but that top lane continues to push.
Yeah, Sonya has lost the shrine up at the top. Mosh Pit once again trying to save them here. Breeze gets gorged. Sonya isn't there. Fnatic is risking too much here. Breeze buying time, but he will fall. The shrine is active. Dignitas takes the kill, and Fnatic's gamble has backfired.
That's a big loss there for Fnatic, not having ETC available. Team Dignitas can now continue to move forward with the number 5 all set up here. They're looking for a rotation. If they get one more hook and they're looking for it, Fnatic is going to be in trouble.
The Haka stole the camp of Sonya away, and that was a big problem. A double camp was now able to move through the top lane. Sonya then was missing as the Haka moves bot and turns it into a fantastic position for Dignitas. The Globals are doing so much right now for Dignitas to keep them in this game. And the Punisher here is going to do a whole lot more to close the gap in experience. ETC will be back for the defense, but this is still going to be rough.
Yeah, Fnatic for the moment is going to go ahead and give up this Punisher. In fact, they have to. Just work on getting towards level 20. Their great early game and mid game has allowed for them to have some force to speed bump the Punisher from pushing into their keep. So they'll be fine here, but they're at 19.5 experience, and they're going to have to make sure their defense is on point.
JPL with a fishing hook is threatening them entirely the entire time here. Once again, we're having the 20 so close. Fnatic will give up the fort.
Dignitas pushing forward here. Snitch leading the charge. Mane is on the side.
Genji at the bot lane, soaking experience the entire time.
JPL ready for a hook. He goes for it.
Oh,
Barely
my God.
missing. Smexy juking by standing still.
The Smexy's there. He doesn't even blink, doesn't move.
Oh man, can he move here though? He has to help clear out the Punisher, and they're working on it. It's down to half health. Dignitas pushes in the keep wall, and they know their opponents are close to 20. They pull away to go top lane.
Genji still poking a little bit. Those hooks are an issue though. They need to be always careful. They have the 20. Now here's the bad news. 20 is going to be great for them, no doubt about that. The big problem is that there are no camps on the map right now because the last one is currently being taken by Dignitas. And by the time we have the next shrine, Dignitas should be on 20 as well.
Yeah, they need to play reserved here, and they're doing it. Look at the Bennett grab. They're pulled all the way back, and you're right, with nothing to grab here. Fnatic's only chance is to maybe move forward for an aggressive play, and they're doing it. They're playing around the vision. Breeze leading the charge here.
Yeah, they're really playing around the minion vision at this point, trying to lay a trap. They want to get some value out of the level 20 talent. It's not going to be easy. They need someone on the side of Dignitas to make a misstep, and Dignitas is just too experienced to do this. The Untouchables there to the right side. Look how careful they play. Mane, though, is he too far in? They're stunned!
Knockback.
The hit! No kill! Mane gets palmed, but the fight is raging, and here's the mosh pit!
The mosh pit, the dancer goes off, but Breeze will be stopped there with the mighty gust, and now they have to pull away. There's only 4 of them here. Snitch is starting to chase forward, but Genji is on the way.
Genji is on the way. Snitch also a bit low, but Mane survives. Breeze sacrificed a lot for this. Cooldown exchange, and he used his mosh. He also bolted, so at this point, they are starting to focus on the few camps that in the meantime have respawned. But as you can see at the experience bar, Dignitas will hit their Storm Talons.
They are going to hit 20. They still don't have their heroics here. Palm not available for 25, as well as the mighty gust. But again, you're correct. The mosh pit, way too long of a cooldown compared to those. Team Dignitas will be able to fight over the next shrine, and for now, they work on clearing out mercenary camps as they hit 20.
Fnatic is low on every single keep, with the exception of the bot lane, but the mid keep has taken a severe amount of damage. Top keep is also open. Right now, those globals have a massive impact on this game. Dignitas is attempting to control the map here. The shrine spawns, and this is where it's really going down to the wire. Fnatic versus Dignitas. The team fight can decide everything. Is Dignitas willing to commit to it, though?
Dignitas gonna pressure Fnatic by pushing in the top lane, gonna have the mercenary camp slowly going there. Fnatic has to be decisive here. They can't dance around. It'll be control for Dig. Xaylia goes for the drag, missing out. Breeze is around the corner here, playing with that vision, able to power slide in at any point.
This is so crazy. If JPL gets a good hook in, this can all change within a second. Hook after hook throwing out the tongues of the Haka as well. Fnatic is on the shrine. This is their chance here. Can they turn this? We currently have Dignitas with so much momentum in this series. They won the last 2 games. Can they win the third? Fnatic takes position, hook, and no gotch.
Breeze instantly with a power slide out 10 to 10 in terms of shrine control. Odin has been popped. Dignitas is here to stay.
Big red button being used once again. Whoopi moving in immediately. We see Falstad retreat. Another big cooldown used. Hook has been used. The palm comes in. No, it doesn't. And once again, here comes the root on the ground as we are seeing the mosh pit.
He's going off, going to be doing great here. Smexy is going to miss out on the Twilight Dream, but he does not have it available anymore as he falls victim. He used Bolt to move in, and he gets caught out.
Uh-oh, the palm triggered. And Genji escaping, but this is once again Dignitas with another win on the shrine.
That was so unfortunate. Smexy bolted in, but got interrupted, missed out on the Twilight Dream, and had to use Ice Block.
use the Iceberg and then dies afterwards. If he gets the Dream off, this would be a disaster for Dignitas, but he doesn't. He gets interrupted, and then also the palm triggered as Genji tries to confirm the kill. 30 seconds until we have Malfurion back. The bottom fort has been taken out. Dignitas is moving in towards the keep.
That's right, they know they have time and they will stomp their way forward with the Punisher, throwing out hooks to see if they can catch anybody here. A 5v4 available for them, continuing to move forward. 30 seconds before Odin pops up, but they don't even need it.
They open the wall. They open the wall here, and still 2 seconds until Gorge is back. JPL is looking for it. Gust is there too. Can they stagger the deaths? 3 seconds for Malfurion. He's about to be back, and here we go.
JP on the bottom left, turn around, look at Quacknix. Can he get away? Quacknix is going to be against Rebel. Breeze tries to go for the save, but Breeze gets caught too by the drag.
There comes the attack against ETC. He's getting away, but the counter kill. Tiger's down.
Whipping.
The resets. Falstad is dying. The palm is used. Bakery palms himself. It is not enough. Fnatic with a triple. They're moving in. They're losing ETC though, but they still can go for JPL.
JPL left, but they're going to turn around and kill him off. 3 people stand here for Fnatic. The Punisher continuing to push forward, but Fnatic does not care. They're heading into the lanes here. Where do they go? Can they head to the top lane?
I don't know. I think they might. I mean, it's 30 seconds, 40 until we are having the heroes back. But look at this, how Breeze is able to barely survive, and then it's Shrimpy saving the day for Dignitas, for Fnatic.
Smexy opened that up with that Twilight Dream, helping kill Tychus, and yes, they did go in, they brought in the aggression. Now let's go back to the game here, as in the top right lane, the mercenary camps are currently pushing in here. They're going to get a keep.
They're going for it.
They have 15 seconds. Can they do it?
3 of them. Shrimpy goes in. This is Fnatic's time. This is their chance, their opportunity.
5 seconds here. The core continues to fall here. 3 seconds till Dim's going to start spawning here. The core is following. It's going down 60%. The root comes out. You are correct. Wubby pops the Wrath. Mighty Gust comes out. The cleanse was on point, and Wubby will help finish the core.
Fnatic takes the victory, and this was the most important one. Dignitas was trying to break their spirit, but there comes the victory. Smexy immediately signaling here 1, and they are going in for more. The series is tied again, and Fnatic has gained momentum.
Incredible control towards the end there, being in a 4v5, getting a snipe on Tychus. Smexy being on point with a bolt into the Twilight Dream. Wonderful job by them, and Fnatic somehow, some way will tie up this series, and we have a series on our hands.
Shrimpy being picked off earlier was a huge problem for them. He completely redeemed himself in that last fight, getting the kills in. And even before that, if the Twilight Dream, as you said, goes off as Smexy bolts in, that's already the end. But when that Punisher was taken by Dignitas, things were looking very, very grim. 1 isolation kill and you are down, and they were trying. But oh boy, are we in for another match here. This is awesome.
Yeah, we are. The series continues to go back and forth, and we're going to be getting ready for a game number 5. But first, let's go to our analyst.
By the skin of their teeth there, Fnatic at the very end. That was back and forth. Crazy draft to open things up with the ETC being included in that. And overall, seems like Dignitas, as much as they were close down towards that bottom lane, Fnatic was able to just eke it out at the very end.
Yeah, I never thought I would say it, but it was a blessing in disguise that the Twilight Dream got interrupted, that they had it later on. But I like that you brought up the ETC, Caleres, because when I sat down and looked at the heroes that these two teams had been prioritizing, I was wondering whether Fnatic being able to abuse Bakery's hero pool and what he's played so far, or if Dignitas abusing Breeze's hero pool and their extreme dependence on a noob, what would be better? And for a long time, I really did think that Dignitas had figured it out with that game.
Dignitas also did not do anything with their globals in their first 2 shrines. They contested both of the shrines right away, got 0 value and experience advantage whatsoever, and that's essentially global 101 on Infernal Shrines most of the time, unless you have a severe team fight advantage whenever the Falstad gets to fly in. So the lack of doing that, I think, really set Dignitas behind, and it made their composition have to be able to win every single team fight.
Yeah, there were a lot of scary moments in that game, Fan.
Yeah, there definitely were. I mean, Fnatic was looking like they were about to lose that game at the very end there. It was very, very close, but Breeze gets away with 1 HP, and they managed to turn it around at the very end. Actually have that replay here, if we could pull that up. So here you see Dignitas, they're pushing with level 20 and the Punisher, and important thing to note is 4 of their ultimates are just coming off of cooldown now. 2 will still be on cooldown when this fight comes in. We see JPL, he gets the hook and the gorge, the gust, if we could pause right here. So here he got the hook gorge, bolts over, we have the gust isolating some other members, and Quacknix is in a really bad spot. Really good play by Breeze. You see he bolts in, power slides out, tries to get the disengage for Quacknix, and if we could play this on, you see Quack trying to get out there. Punisher jumps on him. He couldn't quite get out. But if we could pause again right here, the most important thing to note here was Dig was watching this area because this was where Quack and Breeze were very low. But at the same time, Wubby and Shrimpy, they came along this side and they flanked the backline. So their Sonya and their Genji got on the Tychus and the Falstad. And the most important thing about all of this was Tychus, his big red button is 5 seconds away. If he can safely get that off, they can almost certainly push the core. But the Sonya got onto him. You see how low he is, and then the huge Bolt Dream from Smexy connects with 4 people there. The Palm cannot get off because of it, and they turn this fight around completely. Bakery does get the palm off on himself at the end, but by then it's too late. He needed to palm someone else, of course, and their backline ideally just needed to be a little bit more patient. It looked so good for them. They were all running towards the gray main and the ETC there. If they got both those kills, they probably win, but they didn't, and then they got flanked and just barely Fnatic managed to pull that out.
Was a great turnaround there, then proceeding to go to the top line and being able to push through, since they did have some minions up there as well as a camp, I believe.
Yeah.
That was up there trying to be able to push that. So that was the Fnatic victory. Now we're moving on to the next game though, in just a few moments time here. I think that victory for